Hey YouTube. I was thinking here recently that when I first started making these vids, the reason I did it was because I was hearing so much BS on YouTube about gold and silver coins that I wanted to try to provide maybe some factual information for those that were interested in it. And then I kind of gotten away from that a little bit and started branching out and doing different types of videos. And I want to get back to getting back to some factual information that would hopefully help some people, especially the new people that are just getting into precious metal. So there's three topics I want to talk about today. Topic number one is going to be the first strike and first release and slabbed, bullion coins. It's pretty interesting. I have a good friend that owns a coin shop. He's much more educated on the coins than I am, especially numismatic. And I had a really interesting conversation with him the other day, and I wanted to share some of that with you. In regards to him and another coin dealer were there, and they were laughing at in regards to the sales of the slabbed silver eagles and the slabbed gold eagles both. And they were talking to me, and they asked me a question. They said, do you have any tubes of these? And I said, yeah, I sure do. And he said, how many of those, in that every roll of 20, how many do you think are MS-69 or MS-70? And I said, I don't know. And he said, well, I'll tell you. They're all MS-69 or MS-70. And matter of fact, the mint would consider an MS-68 would be considered a poor strike. And what makes a coin, gives it numismatic value, are two things. It's rarity and it's the strike. And well, although these have a great strike, and the problem is the rarity. There are millions and millions upon millions of MS-69 and MS-70 silver and gold eagles. Now, a lot of people don't understand that, so right now they, especially like in the eBay world, they're claiming or they're gaining a premium dollar for those. But the fact is, they're of no more, they're not rare, and any of us that are in possession of silver eagles are already in possession of those. There's an expression in the numismatic world that I'm learning now, and they say buy the coin, not the slab. And by that, they mean that that's a good thing about as you learn about coins. You don't have to pay the extra money for a slabbed coin. Once you learn about it and you can evaluate the coin yourself, you can save yourself money by buying what's referred to as a raw coin or a coin that's not slabbed. Another thing they were talking about was this whole first strike and first release thing. They were saying that, the U.S. Mint does not designate any coins as first strike or first release. That's actually a salesman term that's been made up. And I didn't believe that. They went and pulled up the U.S. Mint's website for me because I was in awe. I didn't know that. And let me read to you from the U.S. Mint's website. It says that the United States Mint has not designated any coins or products as first strikes or first releases, nor do we track the order in which the mint coins are produced during their production. And so what I went on to learn from these, in reading more on the site and talking with these two coin dealers, is that the coins are made in batches of hundreds of thousands of coins at a time. And the reality is this could be the first coin that was minted for that particular year. But it could sit there and not get shipped off until June because other coins that are made are now gathering on top of it. And this first strike and first release, the salespeople are basing that on the, based on the sticker, the label in which these coins are received from the mint. So if you receive the first batch of coins from the mint, they're selling those as first strike or first release because they were the first ones to be sent out. But they could have been made, it could be coin number 100,000, coin number 1 million that's being received. And coin number 1, the first one that was made, that could be received in July. So that's another sales scam that's used to people to pay a high premium for a coin. So that's topic number 1. Topic number 2 is I see on YouTube all the time, and it drives me nuts, and that's this whole confiscation sales pitch. There is no federal law, nor does the Treasury Department have any documents that support, any contention that the coins, gold coins or any coins, could be confiscated. Everyone that's watching this is familiar with Roosevelt's 1933 executive order that called in gold. And then people are misinterpreting what that order was about. And a matter of fact, let me jump forward a little bit. For those of you who want to interpret that, and I'll never convince you otherwise. I know that there's always that 1%er on YouTube that I'm never going to convince of anything, and that's fine. If you believe that the executive order said that if it's a collectible coin, or if it's pre-1933, or if it's foreign, that it's now safe, that's fine. But if you're going to believe all executive orders, then you might want to read Executive Order 11825, because that came out in 1974, obviously, so it is much newer from Roosevelt's. And what Executive Order 11825, it came out from Gerald Ford, and it repealed the executive order that Roosevelt put out in 1933. And the reason that executive order was put out and repealed Roosevelt's order is because guess what happened on the same day? That's the day that Congress restored America's right to own gold. So that whole confiscation, by the certain types of coins to protect yourself from confiscation, that's BS. And not to mention when the order in 1933 and 4, actually during those times, almost nobody followed it. And if you actually read the historical information about it, I think they prosecuted one person in the entire United States of America trying to make an example about the executive order. But it was a joke then, and it's a much bigger joke now. So I would say don't make your purchases based on fear of the government confiscating them. And then my final topic I wanted to talk about was based on a comment I got from a video not too far back. And it was on the topic of reportable coins and cash transactions. I know a lot of my viewers they've been doing a lot of buying, but they've never done any selling. And I have sold. And so I know what I'm going to tell you, I know is true. And I've went and read the recent IRS reportable statements in regards to our coins and when we sell them. And here's some facts. There's a form 8300 that requires when you sell a more than $10,000 worth of your stuff and you receive cash, not a check, not a cashier's check, not a money order, but when you receive cash, then you have to fill out an 8300 form from the IRS. And you'll know if you filled it out because you have to sign it, you have to put on your social security number, etc. And in my sellings that I have done, and I have sold large amounts in the past, I've never had to fill out an 8300 because I've never had anybody hand me cash monies in that amount. So number one, that only applies to cash transactions. So if you want to avoid the 8300 and you're selling over $10,000 worth of stuff, if it's not a cash transaction, it's still not reportable by the IRS standards, and you can look that up under Form 8300 IRS cash reporting. It's in writing, so you all can verify it if you do not believe me. Another thing that I have a note here I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, here. The other thing is on the 1099-B form on reportable sales. If there's certain types of precious metals that it applies to, and it's pretty interesting. It actually, what it says that reportable sales apply to 1 ounce gold maple leafs, 1 ounce Krugerrands, and 1 ounce Mexican unzas in quantities of 25 or more in one transaction. So it doesn't even apply to American gold eagles, no matter what the quantity, and it doesn't apply to fractional gold. So on top of that, even if you do these large transactions, they only apply to certain coins if you receive $10,000 in cash. So a lot of the people that I hear talking and worried and hiding, wanting to hide their sales and their stuff from the government's not looking for it, anybody. So I think some of the paranoia can be relieved out there. Another thing, and it says once again on the IRS tables, is that sales of American silver eagles, 1 ounce silver rounds, and 1 ounce silver bars are not reportable no matter the quantity. There you go. That's what it says. So, most people that are purchasing this stuff don't understand that. And that's how, once again, the salespeople can point you to where they want you to buy, or they can charge higher premiums for things like pre-1933 gold or specific coins because they convince you that you're protecting yourself by buying those things. So, again, I just want to make a vid to try to allow you to purchase what it is you want to purchase for the right reasons. If you want to purchase nothing but slabbed MS-70 silver eagles, then I think that's great if you're purchasing those because you enjoy those. But don't do it because you think 10 years or 20 years down the road you're going to recoup more monies on that coin. As people learn this information down the road and more people are going to get educated and learn it, the fact is that because of the rarity or lack of rarity, it is likely that they're not going to retain a high premium for MS 69 or 70, and they're not going to retain a high value for a first strike because, once again, people are going to learn that the first strike just means it had a date on the package that meant that it was one of the first packages sent out. It certainly wasn't one of the first coins minted. So I hope this helps. I know that there are some people, I'm learning as I present more videos, who are not open to any new information. So for that 1%, go ahead and write your comments. And the other 99% of you, I hope you got something from this. So like I said, the only reason I'm giving this information is because I want to help out persons in this community. So I think that's about it. Have a good one, YouTube. Bye.